All right. So, new day, new blessings, and same abundant source of creation. So, first off, welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And today's Friday, so Venus Day, day of love, day of power. And so, before we actually open this conversation, to connect to that infinite source of creation, we're going to do that through connecting to the breath. So Monique always leads us through 3 breaths, just as you please. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so you can close down your eyes if you feel...
hands?
Sure.
Okay, my hand's sweaty.
It's okay.
You can close down your eyes if you feel comfy. And we'll start by taking a deep breath, starting at the base of the belly, moving it up through the rib cage, through the heart space, through the throat, between the ears, and hold it at the crown. And on this exhale, we'll just breathe connection into the space. And we'll take another even slower and even deeper, beginning at the base of the belly, trailing it up through our bodies, filling our heart space, filling our minds, and hold it at the crown. And on this exhale, we'll breathe vitality into the space. And finally, we'll do one more, beginning at the base of the belly, up through the body, enlivening the cells, and hold it at the crown. Give a little smile. And we'll exhale presence into the space, gratitude into the space, and power into the space as we begin this beautiful conversation.
Well, thank you guys.
That was so awesome. That's so awesome. So now that we're ready, we're actually present, we're here, we're starting, we're opening, I want to just give you an overview of the flow of this conversation. So you've done interviews after interviews after interviews, and we'll get into who you are actually sitting there with us today, but we're going to go from past to present to future.
Okay.
So the agenda is really just one timeline, but everything that's been happening, everything that's brought you to here, and everything that's to come. So as we go into that past, instead of just giving that kind of blanket, who are you? I want you to answer, who are you, Breezy, as your 6-year-old self? Like, who is she? What are those personality traits that have brought you to sitting in this chair?
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, yesterday I went to this really beautiful session that was it was a meditation that went into sound healing, that went into doing art. And the whole intention behind that was going back into remembering the first time ever in my life that I realized that I was gifted. And the thing that I visualized was actually coming out of my mom's womb. I feel like as soon as I gained consciousness, I knew that I was gifted some way, somehow. I saw it, I felt it. It's something I've felt for a very long time. And I feel like when I think about 6-year-old Breezy, she was creative. She was curious. She was very intuitive. She was very sensitive. All those things. At 6 years old, I was so grateful to have a twin sister as well. So I think having a twin, I got to learn how to love very early. I got to learn how to share very early in my life as well. And I think about my 6-year-old self was just so I was so loving.
That's beautiful.
Thank
you.
That's
beautiful. And having a twin is so powerful.
Yeah,
You're destined for something
so
good.
Special.
That's the beginning of something good. And so for our audience, Breezy is one half, but one whole in herself of Coco and Breezy, which we're getting into.
Yes. And we also, along with, who you are, feel like there's a whole story and there's a whole lineage that comes before you, but also that leads up to you. And we know in other interviews you've talked about, you know, connecting to your ancestors and connecting to that lineage. We're wondering, what does that connection look like? And when did that begin for you? Like, how does that, what's the texture of that?
Yeah, I feel like connecting with my ancestors kind of started, honestly, I feel like I got deeper into it when my dad transitioned. He transitioned in 2021. And before him, I had a fear around the idea of death before I actually like knew it was an actual transition. It just scared me, the thought of it. And growing up, I grew up with my dad. He started getting sick and in and out the hospital since I was 15 years old. And so every time we went into the hospital, it was always like a stroke or it was something chaotic where it was always the fear of, is he gonna make it? And I remember even there's so many times growing up where he was just like, babies, I'm tired. And for me, I would just have so much fear around like the idea of death. And my dad was my best friend. Like we were his best friends. He was our best friend. And in 2021, he had a heart attack. And it was interesting because he called us. We missed his phone call and he sent us a voice message saying that he had to go to the hospital. That was the last time I was able to hear his voice. And he got a heart attack, and then he got rushed to the hospital, and he was incubated and unconscious, or I forgot, not necessarily in a coma. It was something where he was just like sleeping for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know the technical word, but he was in that for like almost a month. And it was during COVID, so they weren't allowing family members to come to the hospitals to visit. And so the day that they kind of opened up access to family to come to the hospitals was also the day that he woke up. And I believe that his spirit wasn't ready. His spirit was holding on so that we could say our last goodbyes to his physical body. And so as soon as I got the phone call, I kid you guys not, we were in LA, literally got on my phone and booked a flight, like leave me in 2 hours. And it was so hard to see him in that state where like he couldn't necessarily talk. But, you know, he had to say goodbye to us. And when we flew back home, that's when we got the phone call that he transitioned. And it was interesting because that day, Coco and I decided to do a mushroom ceremony at the park. And as we were ending off our ceremony, and we got home, we got the phone call exactly when we got home from our ceremony. And it made me just like, I was like, you know what, he's at peace. He's truly at peace right now. He told us that he was tired. His spirit is in pure happiness now. And so the other day, he actually visited me in my dreams.
Yes.
And it was really cool because it's like he's visited me a few times, but this one felt very special because it was me and my family. We were all sitting down in my dream and all just like having family time. And my dad was about to leave. He looked so good. Like he's a double amputee, but he had both his legs in my dreams. He looked so healthy. Haircut was fly. And I was giving him a hug saying goodbye. And I told my uncles I thought everyone was so rude for not saying bye to him. And my dad was like, you're the only person who can see me right now. I was like, oh, because at first I'm like, y'all are rude. Y'all not going to say bye to dad? They're like, he passed away a couple years ago. I'm like, he's right here.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, no, you're the only person who can see me.
They always make that clear in their dreams.
Yeah. I have goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, that really allowed me to really tap in with like my ancestors, and I pray to them every single day and ask for guidance. And so he taught me a lot with that.
Yeah, you have an advocate that's like pushing forward in the spiritual realm for you. Like,
Yeah. It's different having, you know, there's a whole council that came before, but it's different having like someone very close to you and someone that's grown up with you in the spiritual realm that's, you know, giving you energy, that's giving you blessings. And also to visit in your dreams is, I feel like, because we invite and we open that invitation and we open that space, that's how the communication comes through. Because a lot of people are like, well, I know, I have ancestors, but I don't feel them. I don't know them. I don't communicate with them. And I feel like it's up to us to open that channel. And a lot of shamans, in the past even shamans today, would use the dream, and we would call it like the dreaming, as this realm and this like portal to speak to them. So it's so beautiful that you have that connection.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It makes me feel happy. I wake up either cracking up or like just big smiles after I have the dream with his visits.
That's gorgeous. So in one of your other interviews, you explained how before a show, you kind of open yourself as a vessel. Right? Like you invite your ancestors, you invite the spirits to work through you, to use you as an instrument almost. And so have you always been open to receiving that help, to receiving that guidance, to receiving that power? Or is there a moment that you finally surrendered? And was that your dad, or was that before?
It was before. I think ever since I can remember being little. I think when I was younger, I didn't necessarily have the words for it. But I just think about certain memories of even moving to New York when Coco and I were 18 years old with like less than $500. And I know intuitively, I knew that logistically it didn't make sense. Like we only had $500. We didn't know where we were going to live. We didn't really necessarily have a plan. We didn't have a job set up. But intuitively, our spirit told us that we were going to be okay. And so when we moved to New York, I always say that we kind of like, everyone gets signs. And for us, we kind of learned that pattern at such a young age. And so we knew that it was another sign for us to do it and that we'll be taken care of. So like the first month, the way that we got our first month's rent is that like random angels came up to us. I'm talking about random people, literally took the glasses off our faces, gave us $500. I remember like walking through like the turnstile of like the train. Someone took my glasses. Here's $500. I support art. We're at the club. Here's like $500. Took the glasses off. And we weren't necessarily like selling them. That just like happened. And that's how we got our first month's rent.
I believe it. Oh my God.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like I'm like, those are definitely angels.
For sure.
But I know that if I allowed fear to not, if I didn't move to New York, if I moved to New York maybe 3 days before, or like 3 days after, or months or years after, that wouldn't have happened. But I think since I felt good in like the decision and I knew it was our time. And of course there was fear. There's always fear. But we didn't let that stop me.
The faith was louder.
Yeah.
1,000%. We were wanting to ask you about the angels on your path.
Yeah.
Because the first time we met, you spoke about an angel prince on your path. Can't even be described. It's like he's more than an angel now.
Yes.
But we want to know like the power, the surrender, the welcoming of those angels, because everybody has angels on their path, but it takes very few to see them. It takes very few to honor them. And so what has that been like, trusting that faith over the fear?
I think it's been trusting the faith over fear. It's always a journey. And I definitely think it's a roller coaster. I always have to remind myself, actually yesterday in my meditation, I was going through all of the times in my life that someone doubted me, whether if it was my art or like my ideas. And at that time, I allowed doubt to be the fire to make me continue to be better. But I realized like I'm doing the thing now. I have to be my own fire. Like I don't have as many people doubting me because I worked so hard to prove myself. And so now I'm recognizing, I'm like, hold on. I am my own fire now. I can't just sit here and wait for someone to doubt me. And even like going back to allowing myself to be a vessel, it's like when it comes to music, I never dreamed to be touring the world. I always knew I wanted to perform. You know, I did dream to tour the world, but I didn't know how that was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to be us being like backup dancers. I didn't know if it was going to be us being DJs. But I do think that it was one of our callings. Because I knew I wanted to DJ before I knew I wanted to even be a founder of a company. Like ever since 3rd grade, Coco and I were like, we're going to be DJs one day, but we just didn't know like what that looked like. And so, but doing it on the level we're doing it now and being able to have the space to create music, I feel like it's my divine calling. And even when we are in these spaces while we're like in the studio making music, or if we're at a festival, I always like close my eyes and just be like, I pray that one, that we attract high vibrations to come to our show, or attract the people that like need whatever it is that we're going to put out. And even like choosing the songs. A lot of the times we don't even know what song we're going to choose, but I allow myself to just like feel what does the room need.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It makes me so happy. And I feel so grateful too, because our team, like our managers and agents and PR, everybody's on the same vibration as we are. They understand the mission that we're on. And I feel so blessed and happy to have a team that is on the same vibration. And I also, going back to Prince, I feel so grateful that I got to spend so much time with him, because he saw our light before we saw our own light. Like I think we were around y'all's ages when Prince found us and we connected with him. We were like in our early 20s. And I knew I had a light, but he really kind of like, he really truly saw it.
What a blessing.
Yeah. And being that like self-sourcing fire, like you're an alchemist, you know, you and Coco are both alchemists.
For real.
And you've taken, of course, you've taken this divine assignment and you've transmuted all of that, you know, all of your lineage's power and all of your lineage's wisdom.
Yep.
All Prince's wisdom. Like you've transmuted that into pure joy and like pure bliss, but also success, like on the material plane, in the spiritual plane. And that attracts, you know, your tribe. Moving in that right action and like moving with that divine assignment attracts, you know, the people who are going to take the glasses off your face and give you $500 for the work you're doing. But we're both curious. Like usually we see creators build a brand and kind of move forward in that assignment, and then, you know, use the material realm to sell a product or to build their entrepreneurship journey. Whereas you both kind of did the inverse and had the entrepreneurship journey before going into, you know, the music and this industry. So did it start, you know, your entrepreneurship journey as like a profit-driven endeavor, or was it always purpose-driven?
I think it was a mix of both. We didn't grow up with a lot of resources, and so we didn't have anything to lose when it came to taking that risk. So it was a mix of purpose-driven and profit-driven, because we've been financially on our own since we were 15. Literally haven't gotten a penny from family since then. And so it was a mix of, I wouldn't even say like to say profit-driven, it wasn't like we have to make money, but it was more about like we have bills to pay.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah.
and it worked. And when we first started our eyewear company, it definitely was something that, like, we didn't think like, okay, how can we make money? We were just making these glasses for ourselves. And people liked them. They were like, wow, this could become a business. And from there, it started off as a DIY project that then turned to, between my sister and I and our co-founder, Dwayne, we educated ourselves on how to design, produce, and like actually like understand the supply chain of eyewear. And so we then designed our first collection. This is years ago. And fast forward, we're in almost 600 stores around North America. And it's probably going to like triple by next year. And so I feel grateful that at that time, again, we didn't go to college. We graduated high school early. I applied to college. But then the thing that I applied for, I'm like, okay, if I go to this school, I'm going to learn how to work for someone. And I remember having our flight to go to school, and I called my parents, and I was like, Mom and Dad, I don't want to go. And they're like, go for it. And again, our parents, they didn't have the opportunity to support us financially, but they gave us so much love. That they gave us the freedom to express ourselves visually. They gave us the freedom to explore our dreams and our goals. they both grew up with not a lot of freedom. Like my dad grew up during segregation. My mom grew up in a very strict Puerto Rican household. They kind of broke those curses when they raised us. And they gave us so much freedom to just be free thinkers. So much freedom where we were goody two shoes because I didn't want that freedom to be taken away from me.
Yeah.
And then from there, music has always just been our number one love. You know, like, love music so much. And we started DJing. We started DJing almost 10 years, over 10 years ago now. Oh my gosh, time flies. It's been over 10 years. And fast forward, during the pandemic, we released a song that got a lot of amazing feedback. And our team, they really supported us and had our back when it came to understanding our vision, understanding our sound, even like helping us hone into like, what is our sound? What is our brand? And yeah, it's been so lovely. We went from, once the pandemic opened, in the last like 3 years, we've been doing over like 100 shows a year all around the world. And so I feel so blessed to have the combination of understanding business, but then also understanding the creative side.
Yeah.
And like putting that together, because when it comes to being creative, sometimes when you don't have the structure of business, it could kind of fall apart. And in regards to now with our music, it feels like it's 100% purpose driven. And of course, like, we get to also like have a comfortable life, but like I feel so grateful that I feel like we're truly living our purpose. And what really defined that was our first EP that we released in the beginning of the year called Free. And it was a project that was house music, but all the vocals and like the lyrics were very intentional, where we invited people to either they can sit and listen to it and take it in as a meditation, or they can listen to it and like jam out on the dance floor. And so I feel so grateful that I feel like that project was the definition of who we are.
Yeah.
And I feel grateful that we can just be our full selves in this world.
You're multi-dimensional.
Yes.
Yeah.
So powerful. And your music in itself is a third space. Like, when you listen to it, when you have headphones on, when you're in the car, like, it takes you to exactly where you're supposed to be. And again, you can sit in a meditation or you can be in movement. And it really allows you to be free. And that's exactly what a third space is. And you've cultivated that so beautifully. And you're nourishing everyone who steps near or opens themselves to receive your art.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. You know what? I appreciate you saying that, because our whole goal between my sister and I and my team is like, when we made that project, I didn't want to use any of the catchy words. I didn't want to use meditation. I didn't want to use spiritual. I didn't want to use mantra, because I wanted to invite people who may not necessarily be spiritual. I wanted to invite them to listen to music that felt good. And they didn't have to, I feel like sometimes in the spiritual world, it can feel so like, if you don't know all the words and you don't know this, like, you're not invited in. It can feel so culty kind of in a way. And so for us, you saying that means that we're doing the work where we're giving this to you and you're explaining exactly what we want people to feel. So that makes my day.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so when you're creating intentional spaces, like your pieces, your eyewear pieces, your music, it's all from your creative freedom and from your vision and from your faith in your vision. How do you take industry advice with a grain of salt? Like, how do you take all these outside voices saying, this will give you success, this will reach the right people, use these words, use this music? Like, how do you stay true and authentic in your own art?
To be honest, I feel so, I'm going to just bring it back to my team again.
Yeah.
My team is always like, be your authentic self.
Good.
Anything we put out, they're like, be you. And I'll give you an example. So when we were shooting the cover for our EP Free, the original, we like planned this like big production shoot. We had a stylist, makeup artist, you know, had all these like glam outfits. And we get the photos and my manager was like, this isn't you guys. He was like, nope. So then we planned a second shoot. He was like, nah, it's too posy. And he was like, you know what? Send me those pictures from when you guys were in Costa Rica, feeling so free and you were like so natural. Send me those. And at first I was fighting him on it, because in my head I'm like, this is our first EP, we have to be like glammed out and all these things. But he's known us for so many years. And And I finally sent him the photos. And that photo that is on the free EP was literally from our trip in Costa Rica. We felt so free. And after that day, he was just like, just be you. Like anything we put out, I want it to be your most authentic self for my sister and I. Mm-hmm. And that helped me. I think I felt grateful to have a team that they really like. That's the whole ethos is like, how can we be as true to ourselves as possible? And a lot of people don't have that. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times people have people on their team that everyone knows the blueprint of what could be considered successful. Mm-hmm. One of our like mottos that we follow is we're not chasing.
You're attracting.
We're just, whatever's meant for us is going to be meant for us. We're just going to do us and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when you dropped this first EP, you kind of had to open yourself, one, to be perceived, but two, to expand your container for holding all of the success that comes from it. And I know you said you weren't raised around material wealth, but you had that spiritual wealth, you had that love. So how did you open your container and your vessel to receive more wealth, like material wise, and to be perceived in bigger capacity?
Honestly, it was the trip to Costa Rica that Coco and I did a few years ago. Like before we got agents and before we started touring, there was something in our hearts that knew that our life was about to change. Yeah. And at that time, that's when our dad transitioned. We were just going through a lot emotionally. And we're like, you know what? Let's go to Costa Rica. Let's stay off the grid. Let's live for like a week. I think it was like almost a week and a half or a couple weeks with no Wi-Fi, no phone service, no hot water. We're just in the jungle. And we're like, let's actually learn who we are outside of money, fame, material, and really like understand who our souls are. So that way when abundance does come, because we were manifesting abundance, we're like, when abundance does come, that's not what we define success. Yeah. What the real success and wealth is nature. It's love. It's joy. It's like being our most authentic selves no matter where we are. Yeah. And so that trip right there actually helped us. And we like found peace. So like we found where our North Star of peace was. Yeah. So now like having such a fast life, we know how to ground because we felt that before when we were in Costa Rica. And that has always been our North Star.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's so important for people to hear is like that North Star of peace can only be found like from within yourself. And you have to put yourself in the environment in order for that to come through and to speak to you. Yep. And I think we both relate to that. Like we have found our North Star of peace within ourselves and, you know, within nature. But then coming back to, you know, this 3D realm, so to speak, we have to cultivate that and return to that equilibrium. So in your, maybe what does your daily meditation practice, your daily spiritual practice to come back to that equilibrium look like?
So I wake up. I talk to myself a lot.
That's fine.
But yeah, I wake up. When I like first wake up, I don't like get right out of bed. I'll just like breathe, do some breath work, and do a meditation. But I fall asleep to a lot of different sounds. But yeah, I meditate before bed, meditate when I wake up. And then, I don't know, I try to like, when I feel myself rushing, I'm like, Breezy, why are you rushing? Take your time, be present. Like there's literally no rush. And I'll like wake up, if I'm at home, I'll like make some tea, take my dog on a walk, try to eat some fruit or like a smoothie or something. And as I'm like going through my day of calls and work and to-do lists or even like traveling, I travel more than anything, I'm always taking a moment to like, whenever I have time to like sit in stillness, I try to be intentional and like have that be my practice of meditation. Even if it's just for a couple minutes. But I probably meditate a couple of times, like maybe minimum 3 times a day. Yeah. You know, like, and that's even, it's not, meditation for me doesn't always look like this. Sometimes even if I'm walking and I'm being intentional, I'm like, let me feel the air. Let me, you know, like, let me just be intentional with this walk if I can't just like sit there. But I do love a just moment, you know? And so journal. I love to journal a lot. I love writing. Writing has been so much fun for me. I actually love to doodle. That's been a form of therapy for me as well. So yeah, that's my day.
Wow. And so in your journal practices, I'm curious, like, you receive a lot from angels on your path, so your dreams. When you're visualizing what you want to create or what you're called to create, is there a journal practice that allows you to translate that feeling, that sensation, that download into the physical? Because
So actually, when we do our, so when we get our downloads for like our songs, like all the songs that we're on, we don't really write them. What we do is we just set up a mic and we sit there and we just talk. Almost like this.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're doing a podcast, but we're just like talking, and then we'll like cut out pieces and we make it the song. Because we realize, like, for our free EP, like our song Manifest and I Am Free and a few other songs on there every day, it felt so authentic and natural because we just sat in front of the mic and just talked. And we didn't know what the song was going to be. And so, but when it comes to like writing and journaling, I think I get more ideas in regards to like how to live my life in my journal. I get some creative ideas out of that, but I think that it starts with how I perceive life and like what things I'm going to let go. And then that creates space for me to be more creative and more open to even receiving like my body to be able to sketch something or my body to be able to like play a certain song, you know?
So you are a light worker, like in the art space, and you walking down the street, you walking into a cafe, like you can tell that you are full of light. And we know that laws of the universe, with light comes darkness. And so with a lot of light work, there's a lot of shadow work as well. So is there a ritual or is there a routine that helps you work through the shadows?
Yeah, so I think that I recently became a lot more patient and I have empathy now because all of us on this earth, like we literally are on our own journeys and we can't like, I realize I can't speed up someone else's, I can't speed up their process. And so if I experience darkness, I learned to not necessarily get frustrated, but to actually have empathy. And before I would get frustrated in my younger days when I was like self-aware. But now I learned to like actually have empathy, and I can choose if I want to participate in that person's life or not. I can choose it, or I can choose if I want to receive it. But I can say after every single show, I do intentional showers because again we're doing a lot of work and around a lot of energy. So no matter how tired I am, there's so many times where like we're performing till like 4 a.m. then we have like a 6 a.m. flight. I make sure I go to the hotel even if it's for 5 minutes to like take an intentional shower, and I visualize like all this darkness going down the drain.
Yeah.
Sure.
And like get it off of me.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the practices that I definitely do. Just being like more intentional about like, or even creating like a field around me. Because back in the day, I didn't know what an empath was. So I used to be very exhausted. I used to get tired so fast. I used to be overly sensitive. Like I had no idea. I didn't know how to protect myself. And once I became more aware of that, now when someone's like sharing, because random people come up to me and tell me all their business. I'm talking about a stranger will come up to me and tell me, they always like to start off with being like, I've never told anybody this. But in my head, I'm like, I know you're gonna tell me.
Yeah.
But I feel grateful that I could be a safe space.
For sure.
And so instead of rejecting them, I know how to receive it without actually like receiving their issues within my body.
Yeah,
Not to
absorbing it. Amen. Yeah, that's a very important practice.
Yeah, especially like moving in the spaces that you're moving in.
Sure.
You need to know how to return to that space. And as we said, that North Star. And that requires you to have that shield, to have that distance, to have that discernment of what is for you, what is not. So I think we've gone through past. We've gone through kind of the present, the day-to-day. Take it to the future.
Well, I mean, all of that converges into one, your entire past, your lineage, your history, the eternal now, and the unfolding future. And as you and Coco move through the day-to-day, you're also constantly like breaking the generational patterns, but also building your own legacy. So what is the legacy that you want to leave and that you are leaving? And in the ways that, like, you talk about Prince, how would you like people to speak about you?
I thought I knew that answer back in the day. But I guess for me, like, I just want people to know I was a good person. Like, I used to be so detailed about it, but I'm like, I just want people to know that I walked with love, and that I was a good person, and that I was purpose-driven. But there's nothing more than that I want to, like, I just want to be myself, and whatever comes with that. I don't know, I don't want to, before my answer in the past used to feel like ego-driven, but now I just want to, like, I just want people to know I was a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact that I am living my dreams. I know that I've, come across, there's been so many adversities and challenges. So I hope to make the path that I had to take that was challenging. And I know I was blessed to have the strength to go through those challenges. I hope to make space so that other people don't necessarily have to go through as much struggle as I did. And it didn't feel like struggle to me, because that was like my purpose, is to go through it to make it easier for the next person. So I do hope to leave a path that's a lot more smoother for the people coming after me. Yeah, when it comes to, like, legacy, I don't know, I feel like that's up to the world to decide. I don't really want to decide that.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Yeah, your work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Your
For
art speaks for itself. Your love speaks for itself. So
Thank
you're
you.
doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've given yourself so much grace, too, that I feel like when you feel good about what you're doing, other people have permission to feel good as well. So
Thank you.
you're doing all right.
I appreciate it.
Of course. So looking at, we know your EP goes into affirmations, right? Like the power of saying, like, I am love, I am light, I'm free. What are some affirmations in this season of your life that you've been repeating to yourself?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like I'm happy you're asking me that, because I've been thinking about that kind of, like, deeply for the next EP. And some of the things that I've been telling myself is that I am enough. I've been telling myself, it's been really big on, I'm releasing the old narratives that don't serve me. I felt like I was, like, very connected to this old narrative and story I had for myself. And I'm so aware that it's not me anymore, but I was still attached to it. So I remind myself every day that I am releasing any of those stories that are illusions that have nothing to do with who I am today. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I say that one every day.
Yep.
What else do I say? Oof, I feel like there's so many. When I'm put on the spot, I'm like, what do I say?
Take your time.
I think I am love is just a big one, because we all go through so many challenges. We go through so many personalities. And so I've really been practicing just walking through life with love even more, and walking through life with, like, even more patience, and understanding, like, how do I look at life in a bird's eye view to, like, not get attached to either people, attached to stories, attached to emotions, and also allowing myself to feel things. I think for a long time, I grew up very much survivor mode. And so I didn't have time to be angry. I didn't have time to be sad. I had to go get it and figure out how I was going to, pay bills. And I think that now in my 30s, I allow myself to feel those things. I tell myself it's okay to feel those things, just don't hold on to them. Like, feel it and then release it. So that's one of my other affirmations.
That's gorgeous. I need that one.
That's so important.
Release the stories, release the narratives, release the illusions.
That's so important.
I'd love to, like, go back into this breakdown of past, present, future, and maybe a piece of wisdom or affirmation or whatever comes to your mind of something you would say to your younger self. So the 6-year-old we introduced, and then to the New York version of yourself walking in and trusting the vision, trusting the higher calling, and then to your future self.
Ooh, okay. Let me close my eyes for this. I feel like to my younger self, I would tell myself that you are going to, or you have big dreams just waiting for you. Trust your intuition. All the visions that you saw were real. All the feelings that you felt were real. For my New York self, I want to give my New York self a big hug. And I also want to tell my New York mid-20s that, like, 20-year-old Breezy, you worked so hard. Even when people don't understand it, like, you got this. I felt so misunderstood. And I felt like, even though I felt so misunderstood, I still pushed through it, but it also gave me social anxiety. And it questioned my ability. I questioned myself, but I still pushed through. And my future self, I'll tell myself that that's no longer my story. Is that my story no longer is that people are down on me or people don't get it. I've done all the work from 6 years old up until 35 to not necessarily prove myself, but to come into who I am as Breezy, as Brianna Dotson, living my true self. And whoever's not meant for me, whoever's not meant for my art, or whoever's not meant for what I'm creating, it's just not meant for them. And I think that in my early 20s, I was trying to satisfy everyone. But now in my mid-30s, I'm like, if someone doesn't like it, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's not meant for them.
Amen.
That was so awesome. That was so perfect.
Yes,
Truly.
yes. And you're such a testament to creating authentically, like with your and from your entire soul and spirit.
Thank you.
And it's so inspiring and so motivating and so freeing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you for your wisdom and for sitting down with us in the 3rd Space.
We forgot one question.
An important question.
Is it the same question?
It's probably the same question.
We ask all of our guests when we get the introduction, get the story. What's the meaning of your name? If you know.
So my mom and dad wrote on my birth certificate Brianna, but they started calling me Breezy since I was born.
Oh.
Don't know what it means. But
Sorry.
I mean, breezy, I guess, flowy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Easy
Chill.
breezy.
But I don't know how they came up with Coco and Breezy.
They've been saying Coco
They've
and
been called
Breezy.
my whole life. I've never.
Wow. So it wasn't just like it
wasn't just an artist name.
Yeah.
I've been called Coco and Breezy from my family, grandma, grandpa, cousins, mom, dad, since I was like a baby, an infant.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew as soon as you came out of your mama's womb that you were gifted. So that was like part of the gift.
For real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Breezy. Thank you so much.
I wish I had a more profound definition for my name.
No, that is pretty profound.
Because it was like, it was given to you, it was appointed, like, it was higher than what you already know, or what you knew at that time.
Yeah, you've just been living it.
Yeah, you've been embodying Coco and Breezy, so.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll catch you next time with Coco.
Yes.
On the flip side.
Yep.
But again, we thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes.
Thank you, truly. You also have a new song out, yeah?
Yes. We have a new song called Drums Keep Calling. It's with Flagrant Drums.
Banger.
And I feel like it has like a very ancestral, it really hits our like Afro Latin roots.
For sure.
It feels very worldly, and it just feels like an anthem. Very dancey, percussion heavy.
Yes.
It like hits the soul differently.
Yes. And then you're continuing your Free Souls tour.
Yep. Our Free Your Soul tour, our next Free Your Soul date is in San Francisco, but something that we're really excited. Do I have time to explain this part?
I think so.
Yeah.
We're excited to share that we tested it out in LA, and something that we're expanding on is our Free Your Soul wellness portion. And so we do a daytime portion where for San Francisco, it's going to start off with yoga, and then Coco and I are going to guide them in meditation and some sound healing. And then it goes into goes into us playing our free EP, where we invite people to either meditate to it or like get up and do movement. And then we'll do a Q&A because we want to really create community, and not necessarily like fans, but actually create community with the people that support our music.
Yeah.
And from there, then we do a meet and greet. So it's like a non-traditional meet and greet. And then we are going to DJ afterwards on this really beautiful rooftop. Us, Lincoln Jester, and a couple other like local DJs. It's going to be such a vibe.
Yeah. That's a third space.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so needed.
So yeah, we're excited. And then the day before that, we're doing the club experience.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're excited to expand our like wellness portion of Free Your Soul.
Yeah, step into all those dimensions.
Yeah, the movement, the stillness.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all so much.
All right.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Yeah.